Good morning, students. Today we are going to continue with the topic of activity 1.2 to demonstrate that carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis. In this, there are two figures, figure A and B, right? So, in figure A, there is a petri dish containing potassium hydroxide and it is covered with a bell jar, whereas in figure B, there is no petri dish containing KOH and it is also covered with bell jar. Okay. Now place the potted plant in dark for 72 hours so that the leaves they become free from the starch. Now place the potted plant A on a glass plate and put a petri dish containing KOH by the side of the pot. Cover the potted plant A with a petri dish and a petri dish with a bell jar. Place the other potted plant B on a second glass plate and cover it with a bell jar. Keep both the plant in sunlight for about 2 hours. Now pluck one leaf from both the plants and boil them separately in 70% alcohol and then test the presence of starch. Leaf B turn blue showing the synthesis of starch and leaf A remain colorless. So this shows that CO2 was absorbed by KOH in A, so that plant failed to get it and did not perform the photosynthesis. So from this activity we conclude that carbon dioxide is necessary for the process of photosynthesis. Now we will talk about the stomata. The land plants take gaseous form of carbon dioxide which enter the leaf through the stomata. So what are the stomata? These are the minute pores present on both the surface of leaf, but they are more present on the lower surface of leaf, which are guarded by the two kidney-shaped guard cells. The guard cells regulate the opening and closing of stomatal aperture. Again, these are the definitions. Okay. Now see in the figure. In figure A, you can see the stomatal aperture is open and in this it is closed. What happens when the root they absorb water by the process of osmosis and then water through the xylem it goes to the leaves and in leaves the water it start losing through the transpiration. Then these pores when the cells, the guard cells they absorb water they become turgid, swell up and there is a gap is being created. That gap is known as stomata. You can see the water is being absorbed by the guard cells. These are kidney shaped cells, right? And when the excess of water is lost, then what happens? The water it starts coming out of these guard cells and they squeeze out and the gap which was created, this gap is being closed, right? And this gap is closed and the stomata they are being closed then. And there is role of potassium in stomatal opening and closing. Okay. Now let us start with the nutrition in humans. Now in nutrition in humans, there are different steps and different organs are involved, parts are involved of our body which help in digestion. First of all, mouth में there are presence of teeth. Then in alimentary canal which starts from after the mouth, esophagus, then stomach, then small intestine, then large intestine, rectum and anus. And different digestive glands which release digestive juices are also involved in the digestive system. Now the different steps are there: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. You are familiar with all these steps. Ingestion is intake of food, digestion is breakdown of food, absorption is absorption of the breakdown food and assimilation is distribution of energy and egestion is removal of the waste. This is the diagram of human alimentary canal. It starts from here in mouth. There is tongue and buccal cavity in the mouth. then esophagus, then this is the diaphragm, then stomach. On the side of stomach there is gallbladder and bile duct. This is the liver. Then this bile duct is connected with the pancreatic duct, and on side there is pancreas, and in the stomach its opening goes to the small intestine, and the small intestine is then connected to the large intestine. On one side of the large intestine there is appendix, then large intestine, then rectum, and then it is anus, right? So this diagram you will draw in your notebooks and you will also write the explanation. Now location of salivary gland in mouth. There are three different location of salivary gland, 1, 2 and 3. Three different location of salivary gland in mouth, and these are the teeth. This is the tongue. Now explanation I will tell you further in the next slide. Now mouth, it is the uppermost opening of the human digestive system which give passage for ingestion. Ingestion means intake of food. Buccal cavity is a large space bounded by a palate, below by throat, and on side by the jaws. The throat support muscular tongue which forms the floor of the cavity, and jaws bears the tooth. Teeth cut the food in small pieces and chew them to make soft for easy swallowing. Otherwise the food cannot be swallowed if it is not broken down into smaller pieces. The buccal cavity has three pair of salivary gland. I have shown you the three locations at different locations. The salivary gland secretes saliva through their duct. Duct means tube-like structures are there. And saliva, it consists of water, salt, mucin and enzyme ptyalin. Ptyalin is another name of salivary amylase. The enzyme ptyalin is salivary amylase which splits starch and glycogen into maltose. Maltose is the form of sugar. Thus, carbohydrate digestion begins in the buccal cavity, right? So, this is for today and we will continue in the next class.